Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do a workout you can do in your home. We're just going to need a couple sets of dumbbells or maybe even one a little bit lighter and a ball. And that is all you're going to need for today. So remember to come into these workouts warmed up and ready to go. Get your muscles warm. That helps avoid injury. Get your heart rate up. It starts to get your body ready for exercise and gets your blood pumping through your veins and all warmed up and ready to go. Okay. We are going to start today with a renegade row. So what it is a plank that you're going to do some rows. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. First, you can do this from your knees, like in a knee, like modified plank. And that's probably where I would like most of you to start. If you've never done this exercise, it's important to try to keep your core nice and stable. So you want to engage your core to really keep your body as stable as you can. Now, if you can do this, you're going to breathe. You want those weights directly beneath your shoulders. And then if you want to try it up on your toes, that's going to be much more difficult to keep your body stable. You can spread your feet apart a little bit. And then if you have tried a few and you want to go back down to your knees, that's okay. The other thing you can do is do it a little bit more on your hands and knees like this. So there's a lot of different ways to modify this and make it work for you. We'll do 2 more on each side. If you want to try to go back into that knee plank. And 10. All right, good. That's a really challenging one. So make sure that you modify it for what you need. You may need to do it on your hands and knees, and that's okay. You're still getting that good row, and that's what I want to focus on, is really working those back and shoulder muscles. You're going to get some biceps in that as well. Okay, now we're going to stand up, so make sure you stand up nice and slowly. Don't get lightheaded or dizzy. And we are going to do a reverse lunge. Now, we've done these in the past, but as a quick reminder, do it somewhere where you can hang on to something, like maybe at your kitchen counter, like really close, so you can really go back and sit back, or you can do it next to something, but you're going to take a nice big step back, go straight down. So just like you're going to kneel down, you don't have to touch your knee, but I've got a 90-degree bend here, a 90-degree bend here, and then back up. Now, that's the full lunge. You can also do just a partial lunge, but the mechanics are the same. You don't have to go down very deep, but like I said, the mechanics are the same. You're keeping your knees in line here. And also bending that back knee. Many times people kind of want to go back and do this big long lunge, and that really stretches your hip flexor. You just want to bend that back knee and kind of sit straight down. Your body should be staying straight up, your chest up nice and tall. Now you can also hang on to a weight for this. I would prefer that if you do, you just hang on one hand. First of all, that gives you a hand available for balance. And second of all, that gives you extra core work, actually. Having to just hold a weight on one side requires your core to do some good stabilization to keep your shoulders nice and level. We're going to do 1 more on each side. All right, good. Now we're going to grab your fit ball if you have one. If you don't, you can do this on the ground in a bridge. And then a little bit lighter weight here probably than you were using for the renegade row. So we are going to walk out to a bridge. We're going to do windmills on the ball. So we're going to walk out to a bridge where your head and shoulders are comfortably resting on top of the ball. Weights straight overhead, and then you're going to scissors your arms. So you want to keep your hips up. So you've got a nice flat surface from your knees to your shoulders. Now you can bend your elbows here to make your range of motion a little bit smaller and shorten those levers if this is hurting your elbows or your shoulders. or obviously grab a smaller weight. Keep breathing, keep those hips up. 10 and 10. All right, good. Now slowly walk yourself back up to a seated position. Make sure you're not dizzy before you go and stand up. We're gonna stand up again. Drop those weights. Remember to always use good form. Bend your knees and hips. And we're gonna do some punches. So I'm gonna raise this back up just a little. We're gonna do some cross body punches. So what I want you to do is get a nice wide stance, knees bent, hips back just a little bit, core nice and tight, good athletic position if you're ready to move. Now you want your hands here like you're gonna do some boxing. We're gonna punch up and across. We've done this in the past. Then down, like you're punching down towards your knees. We're gonna do it kind of hard and forceful. So up, up, down, down. We're gonna go 10 times each way. Give it a good jab. Give it some force. 5, 6, 7. Keep breathing. Keep that core engaged. 9, 10. All right, good. Now, the next time you go through that, start by punching down. And if you can, maybe start with the opposite hand. So we started with our right hand there. Go punch down. So mix it up each time you do it. Make your brain work a little bit. Make it a little bit of a, a little bit of an agility thing as well, so that you're working, you're kind of surprising your muscles along with it each time you're having to think about it. Okay, now we're gonna grab that ball again, and we're gonna do some side abs. So there's a couple different ways to do this. One good way to do it is against the wall so your feet don't go sliding. But all I'm going to have you do is, just like we do regular ab leans on the ball, what I'm going to have you do is come up to the side each time. So I'm going to have you lean back, come up like you're going to diagonally bring that chest towards the corner of the room. Like if you're perpendicular with the room, you want to bring that chest towards the corner of the room. Really give it a good twist. Now you can do this with your hands here. Then I would want you to maybe reach across like this. It's going to give you a little bit shorter lever. This would be the next kind of phase up. Keep breathing. Also, notice that I'm not coming all the way up here. So I want to come kind of up and across, but stopping in that mid kind of range. So I'm not letting my abs relax at the top here. I'm staying in that engaged position. Keep going. And then if you want a little bit more resistance, you can put your hands behind your back, or behind your head, I mean. All right, okay, good. So knees, chest, up behind your head. So this is the kind of an easier, a little bit more difficult, longer lever, more difficult here. Okay, the last one we're going to do is walking airplanes. So what you're going to do this alongside maybe a counter, along, if you've got a nice long desk or a nice long counter, or in your kitchen even. So we're gonna take a nice big step, walk out into an airplane, and the key here, if you can, is to swing through. You can do a modified here. You don't have to go really deep into that airplane. You can just kind of do long steps and a little bit of a tilt. When you come up and go to your next foot, see if you can do it without stepping down in between. And the key also to make this more challenging is to take a really big step. So it's going to be long and narrow. The shorter step you take and the shorter smaller tip over that you do, this will be a little easier. So start there. And then if that's feeling okay, Then add that longer stride. So big long stride, tip over. You're just tipping at the hips. So when you go to tip, you're tipping here, not here. So notice that my shoulders kind of round forward. I want those shoulders to stay back. You're tipping at the hips, that way your back doesn't take it. So you're just hinging here, and your leg should stay in line with your torso. So don't tip down and then your leg's only here. You want to keep your whole, this is all one piece, keeping that all the way in line as you tip over. So tip, okay? All right, so go ahead and do that back and forth across your room for 30 seconds to a minute, and then repeat through these 1 to 2 more times, adding some cardio in between to get your heart rate up and make it a good full long workout. Remember at the end to do some cool down and some stretches before you finish. All right, thank you everybody, and as always, please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.